Alright guys, so in our last video on Hola Prime, we spoke about the pricing, right? How much you can buy a direct account right now. Yeah, we spoke about how much you can go ahead to get a one-step account and so on, right? I'll leave a link of that video in case you did not watch that video. You can go ahead and watch it right after watching this one. But the thing about this right here is that it's not just all about going ahead to buy a Profirm account. Do you know the rules, right? Do you know the rules and regulations that you need to actually follow on this very Profirm? In this video, we're majorly going to focus on a Hola Prime Forex direct account, right? We'll be taking you guys a step by step on all the rules right now that the platform have actually put in place, because following rules right now is very, very important. So if you love videos like this, if you love content like this, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. And without talking too much, let's just delve right into the video, starting right now. Alright guys, so back to the video guys, back to the video. Now I'm going to leave a link of these trading rules also in the description of the video, so that you guys can always be looking at it every now and then, should in case you want to, you know, basically remember what we've spoken about. It's going to be in the description instantly. Now we're going to focus on the Forex direct account under Hola Prime, just like I said. Right now there are a couple of things we need to look out for, and the first one we are going to focus on is the first things first, which is the challenge process. Now under the process, we have the journey here. After purchasing the account, traders will straight away receive the Hola Prime account login credentials via email, which can also be viewed through the account overview on Hola Prime's dashboard by clicking on the key icon and all. Now this direct model, right, check this out. This direct model has no evaluation phase. So remember, I said that there are multiple phases right now, but what we are focusing on in this video is a direct account. There's like the one-step pro, there's the two-step pro and all, but we are focusing on direct account. And the good thing about direct account is that they have no evaluation phase, which means that you can become a Hola Prime trader immediately after signing up. This model is especially meant for professionals or experienced traders, so that they don't have to wait for evaluation phases right now, right? You don't have to actually pass, you know, a couple of things right here. The platform, you know, gives this to you. Now this model is especially meant for professionals, like I said. So if you are a professional trader right now, you can consider going for the direct account right here. So you can see that hence it has few additional risk management rules, but Hola Prime trader can start earning from day one. It is important to have a flexible trading system and a strong risk management strategy so that you don't lose the account and all, right? Also, you can see no time limit. Trading requires maintaining focus and staying on course even when the challenge arises, but it's about a steady progress, not quick wins, for long-term success. There's no minimum or maximum day limit, so traders can take necessary time to showcase their skills and strategy. And that's the good thing about this. They are not rushing you, right? Nobody's rushing you right now for, you know, when you get the direct account, and nobody's rushing you. They are giving you enough time to basically calm down without being anxious or having anxiety. You can calm down, focus, and then take your trades right here, right? There are no no time limits, and you can actually, you know, still focused when you are under this very account right here, which is the direct account. And this is why most people are always going for the direct account right here. Also inactivity, you can see it here. Any trading account that is inactive for 30 consecutive days will permanently be suspended. So obviously, if you're a trader, you don't need to stay away from the charts for more than 30 days or even 30 days, because the platform says here that any trading account that is inactive for 30 consecutive calendar days will permanently be suspended. So a trading day is defined as any day when a trader opens or closes a trade. Modifications to stop loss, take profit orders, or pending orders do not count as trading days. So this is something you need to actually look out for. So just try your best. Even though sometimes the market might be unstable, just try your best right now and be active right on the platform. We're going to move on to the next one, which is the trading rules. Now this is another part where we need to actually focus on. A lot of people right now would, you know, not read all these things and then go ahead to just jump, but most times it's important to read up the rules and regulations of platforms, right? So the next one here, like I said, is trading rules, daily loss limit. So it says here that the daily loss limit is the maximum amount a trader is allowed to lose in a day. The maximum, right? Meaning that, you know, you must not lose higher than this. Now, for the Hola Prime account issued under the direct model, this limit is set at 3% of the previous day's closing balance. Now, we're going to go ahead and explain it and do some maths right here so that you understand, right? But it says here that the trading rule stipulates that the loss on any day, which is the sum of the current floating P&L, that's the profit and loss, and the total P&L on closed trades, cannot exceed the maximum daily loss limit. Now let's look at the example we have here. So for instance, let's say at the end of day 2 your account closing balance is $110,000, right? And then the daily loss limits for day 3 would be $3,300, because remember I said earlier on that this limit is set at 3%. So 3% multiplied by your $110,000 right now would be $3,300. So that's like your daily loss limit for day 3. So what this simply means is that your equity on day 3 cannot go below $106,700. And how do we arrive at this very answer right here? It means if you go ahead and minus 3% from this your initial $110,000, right? This basically gives you this value, $106,700, right? So another example right here is that let's say you have $110,000 trading account. Now during the day you realize a significant loss around $2,000. So let's say you took a trade, the trade didn't go your way and all, and your loss was about $2,000. Now after this you initiate another trade. At the given moment, if your running trades exceed the floating loss of 1,300, your account will breach the daily loss limit right here. I hope you guys basically understand. So it says here, if your trades exceed a 3,300 loss within any trading day, you are breaching the rule because of this limit, 3%. So make sure that when you are actually trading, you actually put into consideration this thing, so that you don't go ahead and then start making complaints and all. Because the platform has put all these things in line here so that you can follow up step by step, right? So there's also the maximum trailing drawdown. So in case you don't know what the trailing drawdown means, is the amount your account's equity or balance cannot go below. Now for Hola Prime, they set it at 5% of the initial balance. So 5% trails the high watermark until the trader reaches 5% profit on the account. For example, a $100,000 account, let's say you start with that and your balance, right, that is your max trailing drawdown will just be 5%. That's about $5,000. What this simply means is that $5,000 is the max. This means that your account should not go below 95,000 in equity of that given time, right? Do you guys understand? Because $5,000 multiplied by $100,000 right now would give you $95,000 right here. So your account balance should not go below $95,000 right here. So if you are getting any other account, let's say even if it's not $100,000 account right here, you're getting another account, just do the math, 5% of that, right? That's like your maximum trailing. And also the minimum trading days here, it says here that there is no requirement for a minimum trading number of trading days, right? Which is also good. Nobody's rushing you on something. And then consistency requirement, the consistency score should be up to 15%. The consistency score is calculated as follows. So to get your consistency score, that's like your biggest winning day divided by the current account profit multiplied by 100%, right? This might look large words, but this is just like the formula you need to know. Let's say for example right now the highest profit you earned in a day is $5,000 and the total profit you've earned so far is $25,000. What this simply means is that your consistency score will be $5,000, which is your biggest winning day, divided by $25,000, which is your current total account profit, multiplied by 100%. This will give you 20%. So in this case, for you that basically have $5,000, it says here that the trader must keep trading and earning a total profit of at least $33,000, additional profit of 8,333, so that the consistency score is brought down to 15%, right? You will need to go ahead and just look through these things, and that is why I said that I'll be placing a link in the description also, so that as a trader, we all know that it's we might get carried away sometimes and we might not be looking at these things. So every now and then, to keep your account up and active, you need to look at these things every now and then. we also have the minimum profitable day. So by the end of each 14-day payout period, the trader must achieve at least 3 profitable trading days, which if you are a professional trader right now, this should be very, very easy for you. Now, the 14-day cycle begins on the date of the first trade executed. So the very first day you actually took a trade on the platform, that's when your 14-day cycle begins. A day is considered profitable if the daily profit equals or exceeds 0.3%. So 0.3% is the mark for this. The 14-day period resets either in the conclusion of each bi-weekly cycle or upon the processing of a reward. I hope you guys basically understand that. Now, we have news and swing trades. This is another category right here. Now, under the news and swing trade, we have the news trading. It says here that news trading is not allowed in Hola Prime accounts issued under the direct model. So for the direct model, news trading is basically not allowed, right? Probably in other ones right now you can go ahead and check, but for under the direct account, it says here that news trading is not allowed in Hola Prime account issued under the direct model. Now, traders can hold trades obviously at any time, but they are not allowed to execute. That is, you must not open or even close any trade on the instruments affected by high impact news. So during the window of 5 minutes before to 5 minutes after the release of such news, right? Please note that the execution of trades include market execution as well as pending orders, including stop loss, take profits and all. So these are basically considered as execution of trades, right? So make sure you actually put this in mind. Matter of fact, I would just say that since they stated it clearly that it is not really allowed, just stay away from that. Now, it says here also that weekend holdings right here, it says here that holding trades over the weekends is not allowed, and this is not allowed under the direct account, right? It says here that since this is not allowed during the weekends, it is also considered a hard breach in the Hola Prime account issued under the direct model. So since this is actually a rule that they've stated, make sure that you stay away from this. It says here, ensure that all trades are closed before 15.45 EST on Friday, or they will be automatically closed by the system and then the account will be terminated. So if you forget, right, you might actually lose your account because of this very rule. So, and this is why I told you that rules are basically very, very important. Also, it says here overnight holding. Overnight holding of position is permitted, right? So this one is permitted right here. This basically allows traders to maintain their trades without interruption, giving them the flexibility to gain on long-term strategies and market trends that unfold beyond standard trading hours. Now, I'm taking my time to actually go through these things so that we all can basically understand what is actually happening on the Hola Prime dashboard and platform. Most people just jump into this probably because they've used the previous prop firm in the past. What another prop firm will have as their rule and regulation will be different from other prop firms, and for Hola Prime, this is their own rule. So if you'd be getting an account, you need to actually go through these things. Now we'll go straight to risk limits. So for risk limit, it says here that your loss on a single trade idea should not exceed 2% of the account size, right? That's your initial balance. It must not exceed 2%. So make sure you do your math. 2% of your account size, that is your initial balance. Make sure you don't exceed that in terms of your loss on a single trade. Now, this is basically for funded or direct. Now, splitting up a trade into multiple positions will be counted as one single trade for this purpose, right? The breach of this rule will lead to hard breach and termination of the account. Now, this is actually something you also need to look out for. Even when you are trading normally, risk management and risk limits should be put in check. And I believe that this platform is basically just, they've actually put all these rules in check so that we don't overtrade or, take a lot of risk right now. There need to be limits that will be put on our accounts right now. And these are currently some of the things right now that you need to look out for. Now, there's trading. Now, under trading, we have trading platform. You can choose among the best trading platforms. For example, DX Trade, MT4, MT5, Match Trader, Trade Locker, and then C Trader platform. So whichever one you're actually comfortable with, you can choose amongst these are currently some of the best platforms right now, trading platforms right here, guys, basically. So just pick among them. There's also tradable instruments. You can trade Forex, which is good. You can trade cryptos, indices, and even commodities with tight spreads on all their trading platforms, which is on all of these. Right now, there's also instrument wise leverage. The leverage that will be applied on Hola Prime account will be Forex major and minor, which is 30:1. For Forex exotics, this is 5:1. For commodities, it is 2:1. For metals, it is 10:1. For indices right now, it is 5:1, 5:1, and then cryptos, it is 1:1. Right, so note, while their current leverage is and margin requirements are fixed, we reserve the right to implement tiered or variable margin requirements at their discretion. So this is basically just like a quick note that you need to put in mind, but basically these are just things right now that you can actually go through and look out for yourself. Depending on what you would be trading, you can look up the leverages right now. Yeah, now there's also rewards and refunds. Now under the rewards, it says here that the payouts in Hola Prime account issued under direct models are bi-weekly, right, with the trader being entitled to 80% of the simulated profit. So the trader is basically entitled to up to 80% of the profit right here. But however, the trader has the option to increase the reward to up to 90% with an add-on. So you can see that this is also nice. Now, if all the rules are followed by the trader, they can request a payout every 14 calendar days. So every 14 calendar days, you can basically place a payout directly here. It says here 15% consistency requirement. These are currently some of the rules that must be followed right here. So 15% consistency rule, the consistency score should be up to 15%. And I've done the full mass for you in our previous post where we spoke about that. Three profitable days. So by the end of each 14-day period, the trader must achieve at least 3 profitable days. That is 3 profitable trading days, which is actually easy. Anyone can be profitable right now, especially if you are a professional trader going for the direct account. You should be profitable at least. So the 14-day cycle begins on the date of the first trade executed in the account, which I've spoken about earlier on. Now, payout methods. This is another beautiful thing. I've seen a couple of people ask me question, how do they actually make payouts? And it is actually very, very easy. Now, there's bank transfer and cryptocurrency. So a minimum of $50 excluding the first share, no fees from their end. You can see how cool this is. So you need to hit a minimum of $50 right now under the bank wire or cryptocurrency. Now the supported crypto is Bitcoin, USDC, Ethereum, USDT. Now USDT right now, you can place a withdrawal with USDT ERC20 or USDT TRC20. That's the Tron blockchain. Now the minimum for this is $500 excluding the firm's share. Supports banks and crypto payouts. A flat fee of $25 applies. So these are basically all of this, and it looks really, really cool. And remember, they've stated it here that these criteria ensure discipline and consistent trading performance, aligning with the model's objective. So they've put all of these rules in check right now, so that discipline, you can basically be disciplined as a trader. Now, scaling plan and Alpha Prime membership. Now let's go ahead and look at these right now. To qualify for each scaling in Hola Prime account, there are a few things right now that you need to put in check. They say that the following condition must be met. 1, minimum 4-month cycle. Your trading cycle begins with your first trade, and you must trade for a minimum of 4 months to qualify for scaling. Right now, there's 10% total net simulated profit. So now, over the next 4 months, over the 4 months period, basically, you need to achieve at least 10% total net profit. Out of these 4 months, at least 2 months should be a profitable month for you. This is another, basically another condition that must be met. There's 2 payouts, right? You must have received a minimum of 2 payouts during the scaling period. Positive account balance. Your account must have a positive balance at the time of scaling, right? Not negative. Now, First scaling right here is a 25% increase. Now the requirement for this one right here states that you must meet initial scaling criteria within 4 months, achieve a consistency performance as per their benchmark, and a reward. The reward here is a 25 increase on your initial balance. So for example, let's say your starting balance is 100,000. Now when you scale, because of this 25% increase, right, you'll be getting $125,000 in 4 months. You can boost your trading potential and reach the next milestone with a larger account size. Now, finally, we have this one that says here, second scaling. For the second scaling right now, let's say you want to actually scale again. This one right now would be 40%. Now, it says the Alpha Prime membership and increased scaling of 40%. Now, this one right here, for you, upon reaching the second scaling after 8 months, because remember that this other one here says 4 months. This one, upon reaching the second scaling, which is now 8 months, the trader automatically becomes an Alpha Prime member with exclusive benefits and enhanced scaling rates. Now, the requirement for this is that you must show a consistent trading success, right? Your trading must have been, consistently successful using the platform, and you must achieve second scaling reward. And for you to do this, a 40% increase on your initial balance, which is 25% base increase plus 15% bonus scaling for Alpha Prime membership. Now let me explain what all of this mean, because all of this may look a bit, I would say a bit prime, but let me explain this for you. For example, let's say your starting balance is $100,000. Now, after scaling in 8 months, right, you will now have about $165,000 in 8 months. Alpha Prime members enjoy enhanced growth and privileged status in the trading community. Now, there's also another one that is called the third scaling and beyond. This is 50% increase each time. The requirement here is that you must demonstrate ongoing consistency and commitment as an Alpha Prime member by meeting the scaling requirement directly here. So the reward here says from the third scaling onwards, that is after 12 months, you get a 50% increase on your initial balance with every successful scaling, continuing until you reach $4 million scaling. So for example, right now your starting balance is $100,000. After scaling, you'll be getting $215,000 in 12 months, right? So all of this right now have been put on this table right here, broken down so that you can understand, your initial balance, your scaling percent, your scaled amount, and even your new scaled balance after you must have scaled, right? So like I said, all of this link will be placed in the description of this very video. We also have the maximum Hola Prime allocation. Now, Hola Prime accounts issued under direct model, because remember we're focusing on direct accounts, right? Hola Prime accounts issued under direct models are limited to 2 active accounts at a time. What it means is that you could potentially purchase and own more than 1 Hola Prime account at a time, but you can only trade in 1 account at a time, right? So what this simply means is that yes, it states clearly that you can have 2 active accounts at a time, but you can only trade 1 at a time. If you start trading on 2 Hola Prime accounts issued under this model, you cannot trade on the third one until 1 or more of the previous accounts are breached, right? The maximum total capital allocation across all funded Hola Prime, whether obtained through challenges or direct account, is capped at 500,000. So this is the highest, the maximum basically. We have expert advisors here. It is not allowed to employ any kind of experts, advisors on Hola Prime account under the direct model. So you need to basically trade by yourself. Don't employ any kind of experts right now, basically, because that would be a breach of their rule. And then finally, we have prohibited trading practices right here. We'll go ahead and look at some. Like I said, the link of this would be in the description right here so that you can fully understand all of this. Now, first things first, you need to understand that there would be consequences of using prohibited trading practices, right? It states here that Hola Prime enforces calculated measures to prevent and address prohibited trading practices. Now, depending on the severity, consequences may include a warning. You might get a warning issued to you. You might be restricted from the number of trades or lot size that you'll be taking. You might be getting more like a low daily or maximum loss limit, a lot of consequences right now. So you really just want to stay away from this. Now let's go ahead and look at some of the prohibited trading practices under Hola Prime. Now that's for Forex, and yeah, we can see it here that it says here Hola Prime strictly prohibits any kind of exploitation on the platform. Traders should read all terms and conditions carefully before using the platform, and that is why I'm actually taking my time to break things down one at a time. Now the first one here is hyperactivity and excessive trading. This is clear. So hyperactivity in trading refers to an unusually high volume of activity where a trader places and executes trades rapidly, right, in a quick succession. You are trading rapidly, back to back to back. It also extends to constant adjustment of existing orders, including repeated changes to stop loss, take profit, limit order, and all. What this simply just shows is that you don't even really know what you are doing, moving your stop losses, changing your TP and all that stuff. You need to basically just do things very, very professionally. The next one here says account or device sharing. If a trader shares their Hola Prime account or the device which they are using, resulting in sharing the Hola Prime account or selling it, it will be considered as a breach of their service, right? Obviously that would just be more like cheating. You are trying to cheat the system, which is not good, right? So this would basically lead you to having a consequence on the Hola Prime platform, right? There are also speculative trading here, right? For the speculative trading, setting up several buy and sell orders at various price points above and below the current market price to take advantage of price changes is prohibited, right? So you don't need to speculate whatsoever. So for example, in case you don't know, because some people might be doing this and might not even really know that they are trading speculatively. This is what it means. For example, right now, a trader sets several buy orders at $150, $155, $160, and multiple sell orders at $170, $175, and $180, right? It might look smart, but the platform here is saying that you should not actually do this, because it just basically shows that you don't really know. You are not basically trading, right? It's now more like you're just testing things out, right? The trader must make profits if the market moves between these levels. However, all the buy orders will lose equity if the market falls sharply below 150, resulting in huge losses, right? There's also this one here that says the breach of this rule will lead to hard breach and termination of the account. Strategies which are not reasonable or replicable in real market, it is prohibited, right? Opening substantially larger position sizes right now is prohibited. Opening substantially smaller or larger number of positions compared to your other trades, whether on this or any other account of the trader, is prohibited, right? This is breach of rule, right? Now, trading without considering technicals or fundamentals. You need to actually, if you are basically a support and resistance trader, or you use Fibonacci retracements and all that stuff, yeah, you really just need to consider technicals. But if you are trading without considering technicals or even fundamentals, what is currently going on the market, right? It says here continuous buying or selling of any instruments without taking into account technical signs, economic indicators, or even fundamental news that could point to a future price gain or drop is a kind of betting with unfavorable risk reward ratios. Now, because of this, it is speculative in nature, and entering into this sort of trades is basically prohibited, right? We have arbitrage trading. It is prohibited to take advantage of discrepancies in price feed within a platform due to technical glitch, right? Copy trading also, it is stated here that copy trading, it is allowed for traders to engage in copy trading from one Hola Prime account to another Hola Prime account, both challenged or funded, provided that both accounts are owned by the same individual, not different individuals. But however, copy trading from external accounts as well as between multiple Hola Prime accounts not owned by the same person, probably such as a family, friend, or something, is strictly prohibited right now. So this would be a breach, right? Hedging or executing reverse trade. It is allowed to hedge or open, buy or sell trades in same instrument using the same trading account, but it is prohibited to open, buy and sell orders or buy and sell trades in the same instrument across many accounts or in a group. So make sure you actually put this into consideration. Let's say, for example, it is prohibited to hedge a trade over 2 accounts by buying 1 lot of Euro USD on account 1 and then selling 1 lot of Euro USD on account 2. Now this might look like a lot of rules, but it is actually good because they've actually put this into writing for traders so that you can also go ahead and be mindful of these are rules right now. Basically, you are not basically trading your own personal thing. You are trading a prop firm, and prop firms, they have rules guiding them, and this is their own rules. So if you'll be getting this, make sure you actually read through all of this, right? There's also tick scalping or high frequency trading, which is also known as HFT. It is not allowed to use sophisticated expert advisors, algorithms, and even fast communication networks to profit from small fluctuations by executing a high volume of trade within a short time frame because of its potential for market manipulation and disrupting trading activities. Now, it's even cool because all of these trading rules right now would even help you in your own personal trades, because now you'll be more disciplined and you would actually understand things better. Right? There's also news trading. News trading is not allowed in Hola Prime account issued under the direct model. Traders can hold trades at any time but are not allowed to execute, that is, open or close any trade on the instrument affected by high impact news during the window of 5 minutes before to 5 minutes after the release of such news, which I've stated in the past. Right now, there are a couple of conditions here. You can see it says here other non-targeted instruments can be traded normally during news hours. For example, you can trade AUD NZD during the US CPI release. For example, there's a high impact news speech scheduled for at 3 o'clock. Condition: you are not allowed to open or close any trade between 2:55 and 3:05 because of this news happening here. If you're opening the trades before 2:55 and closing, including limit, stop, TP and all, at any time between 2:55 and 3:05, it will be considered as violation of their terms, right? So these are a couple of things you need to go ahead and look out for. And then there's also weekend holding. It says here weekend trades over the weekend is not allowed. Holding trades over the weekend is not allowed and is considered a hard breach in the Hola Prime account issued under the direct model. Ensure all trades are closed before 15:45 EST on Friday, or they will be automatically closed by the system. So we've spoken about all of these things, right? They might look just as easy as it gets, but make sure that as a trader trading on Hola Prime, all of these rules are met, and trust me, your account will be free from any sanctioning or something like that, right? You won't get a warning or something as long as you are following their rules very, very closely. So this is basically the video I basically have for you guys today. If you enjoyed it, if you have any question, drop a comment in the comment section and I'll respond to you promptly. Give the video a thumbs up, click the subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next one.